If you work in film, this fixes the three money fires that no one talks about. So, quick reality check. If you work in film, you're probably leaking money in three places: loan out confusion, lost retirement accounts, and cash chaos between gigs. I'm Myron Ward, a fully licensed financial advisor that holds the Series 7, Series 66, and Life and Health license. And I'm also at times, sometimes a film and TV writer. I act as a financial quarterback with my clients so you, the showrunner, the director, the DP, or department head can stop juggling money problems while you're putting out actual fires on set. So if you're in this world, save this video because I'm going to give you 3 plays to stop the bleed in plain English. Now, first, a story. My dad used a tax guy for about 40 years. We always called him the CPA. One day we finally asked, "Are you actually a CPA?" And he wasn't. He was great with forms, but not a licensed CPA and definitely not a licensed investment advisor. Here's the point. CPAs handle taxes. Some also do planning and hold advisory license, but many don't. And tax filers are not CPAs at all. So people often think, I have a CPA, so I have a plan. Most don't. A financial advisor is the quarterback. We coordinate the CPA, the attorney, asset protection, custodian, investment, tax implication for accumulations and drawdown phases of your investment and retirement so that everything moves in a straight line and not various circles. Your CPA is crucial. They're just one position on the team and not the whole team. Now, let's talk about play one, which for me evolved after a general conversation on project, and it went something like this. A stunt coordinator pulled me aside and asked, "Do I really need this loan out? What do I actually do with it?" And here's how I explained it and how I run it for anyone who asks me. A loan out is your personal service company or your personal services company, and the production contracts with your company and not your social security number. It helps you with clean invoices, liability separation, and paying yourself on purpose. But it's not a magic tax wand. You still run payroll for yourself, keep separate accounts, and document real business expenses. Now, when we map money strategies for our film and TV professionals, we keep it simple and in plain English. There's no spreadsheet soup, and we work together to help you build your financial map. What we do is we do things like we decide, should you even have a loan out? If yes, I map out a 4-account system that deals in operations, taxes, cushions, personal. Then we set a reasonable salary for the work and distribution of the profits. After that, we flag the gaps that actually matter in your life while you're on set, such as setting things like your owner occupation disability and term life that size for bondability. Your CPA and attorney handle the filings. I quarterback the money systems so you don't drown in forms. Now, if your loan out is mishandled, here are some intimate pain points and the stuff that no one really tells you about. First of all, no payroll through your loan out. If this is you, then that's a red flag that can basically attract penalties and pierce the corporate veil in disputes. If you're commingling accounts, well, it blurs your liability and makes audits miserable. If there's no owner occupation or disability or mid-sized term policies in your plan, well, a lender or bond underwriter can balk. And from that, your project and your rate suffers. Plus, wrong beneficiaries on an old account, an ex or estranged relative can still be first in line in your policies, and it happens all the time. Your next step from this play is a 1-page map of which accounts to open, a paycheck rule, and a 2-item insurance sanity check where we go look over your own occupied DI, term size, lender expectations, and from there, we quarterback the rest with your CPAs and attorneys so filings match the plan. The value to you, financial clarity, better liability separation, and a system that pays yourself on purpose. So now we're moving on to part 2. Now, part 2 is where most of the real money hides. After wrap, or after your production wrap that you're on, or a production wrap that you have moved away from for some time, We run a rollover day, is what I like to call it. It's a rollover day to where we take 30-minute conversations to consolidate the retirement junk drawer. Now, these are old 401ks, 403bs, tiny IRAs from 3 shows ago. And the mechanics is simple. You bring your latest statements and a photo ID. I compare the stay put versus moving those retirement accounts in a simple best interest memo where we consider the fees, services, and investments so you're able to see the trade-off. If it's better to leave the plan where it is, we leave it. If it's better to consolidate, we complete the transfer forms on that call, set the beneficiaries, and drop your account to a pre-built model that fits your risk and timeline of your current lifestyle. Now, here's some of the fears. Well, yeah, I guess they are fears that you're allowed to have when retirement junk drawer isn't attended to because they are real. 1, out-of-date beneficiaries equals assets going to the wrong person. You have a plan loss plus an address change equals I'll find it later, which turns into never, especially across studios and unions. Or you overexposed single fund or targeted date that doesn't fit your risk profile because no one is watching it. And that way, paperwork paralysis equal a decade of drift. So why? While you're doing this, why will you love it? You'll love it because after the AfterWrap game plan, you'll have one login, one plan, and someone actually watching over your retirement investments, which is a lifesaver. Now we're gonna move on to play 3. So play 3 is called the Between Gigs Buckets, and it's moving from willpower to automation. Now, what's between gig buckets, you ask? Like, what is that? Well, simply, it's a 4-bucket set it and forget it cash system so your lumpy income doesn't wreck your life. The play 3 strategy is started with the showrunner who looked bulletproof on set and wrecked at home. These are scenarios that we see sometimes. And pretty much, she had a big pay, win staff, and nothing between rooms. If it sounds familiar, this is how you stop the April tax panic and off-season scramble. We work to set off 4 buckets and let the automation do the adulting. So for bucket 1, we spend now, which is 30 to 60 days in, and pretty much every deposit goes in to top this off, so you have 30 to 60 days of cushion. And then bucket 2 is the cushion. That's 4 to 6 months in high yield or T-bills money market, and you auto sweep weekly until that fulls. Bucket 3 is taxes and premiums, which is a separate account named taxes and insurance where you put a percentage of the deposit goes here for your quarterlies and your DI term premiums. And then bucket 4 is wealth. Now, whatever's left, you auto invest it monthly in a model portfolio, whether it be an IRA, SEP, solo 401k, or other investments where it fits. We set this up once and your money behaves even when your life gets loud. Now, having a between gig bucket strategy alleviates these pain points. The April tax panic that forces credit card flow at usury rates. Burning through cash during the gig because money is good, then free fall between rooms. Selling investments at the worst time to cover rent. Letting insurance lapse because premiums weren't carved out. The quiet consequences if you ignore this is rolling 20% APR because you paid your taxes with plastic. The IRMAA surcharges for later in life because your Roth withdrawals timing was never planned. Or missed lender bond requirements because of no stable runway. What changes with this play is we set this up once, your money moves itself, you review the percentages quarterly, and your money behaves even when life gets loud. Now, you're probably asking, why do I need you, Myron? Why not just DIY? I already have ChatGPT. All right. Having a financial advisor as a quarterback and not DIYing things, plus adding a CPA that align with the alignment, this is why it works. Mainly, you're already juggling scripts, schedules, egos, daylight. Money tasks die from context switching and decision fatigue. It's a lack of rhythm and clarity that grinds the motion of your wealth to a halt. My job is providing clarity, frameworks, and establishing a rhythm like a pace car. Once we establish a money guide strategy and a proper investment framework that fits you, we keep monitoring the rollover day after each production, bucket-to-bucket check-ins quarterly, and keep an eye out for any material changes in the market, laws, regulatory, investments that affect you directly so we can maximize the opportunity and hedge the downside. Now, all this is done while I loop in your current CPAs, attorneys, and various professionals so the choices get filed correctly. I'm licensed to advise and manage, and I speak film because I've lived film for basically 2 decades. And I personally know intimately that you don't need more hustle. You need a system that basically runs when you're on set. So, if you're a showrunner, DP, writer, department head, or talent, and you want this without the homework, DM me Rap to Wealth, and I'll send the ebook that covers these strategies in under 20 pages. So, and then when you're ready, we can schedule a quick 15-minute free consultation, and if we fit, we'll progress as needed, and I'll quarterback and coordinate with your current CPAs, attorney, and other financial professionals to set the buckets, schedule rollover days, and keep the rhythm so you can keep making it work. I'm Myron Ward, licensed advisor, co-CEO FRI, and a writer, and I believe that money should support your story, not compete with it. Thank you for joining me.